to know everything. Who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.
Hello, stressed out Pelicans fans. How's it going? We're here with another episode of State of the Pels. God knows we need it. We need to talk about it. We got to talk through this. We're going to be
Yes.
okay. I'm joined with Myles today, though. So thank you so much for joining today and being on the show. So happy to have you and discuss what is going on with our beloved Pelicans right now. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little bit of everywhere. It's a pleasure to be on. I'm happy to talk hoops with you, Chrissy, and sort of dive into our Pelicans and see what's wrong, see what's right, and get past this tough loss that we just faced.
Yeah, I like what you just said. Get past it because I feel like yesterday and today, Pelicans Twitter is just imploding on itself. Justifiably so. I mean, after what we witnessed in the final game of the season at home against the Lakers, crushed 124 to 108. Not a good look. But we have to look ahead. And I guarantee you that's what Willie's telling the team is forget it. It's over with. And we got to look ahead to Tuesday. And we've got our, very familiar playing game to do tomorrow. So what would you say are like your keys to beating the Lakers? It's odd to be playing a team back to back like this with like this on the line, but what do you think that needs to change so that we can get that win tomorrow night?
Well, I like what Willie Green says a lot. First, it starts with game plan discipline, and I know Willie's saying something along the lines that, hey guys, we have to limit turnovers, we have to rebound the ball, and we have to shoot enough. We have to chuck up enough shots. And obviously they need to fall, but with rhythm and continuity of getting those shots up, these are professionals. Eventually they're gonna fall. And yesterday we saw the Lakers went on a pretty hot run shooting the ball as well. They got to the lane a lot as well, but they did shoot well. And we see D'Lo every time he plays us, he acts like a maniac. But look,
Annoying.
I trust our shooters more than I trust D'Lo. Trey has to shoot the ball. CJ's got to shoot the ball, and that deals with spacing and things of that nature. But I think one of the key aspects of winning versus the Lakers would be understanding the assignment, not being too overwhelmed about who's in front of you, and just playing the play as you should. I know these are young guys. Like I think people forget, like, yeah, they have been in the league for 4 or 5 years, 3 years, but they're still young guys. They haven't been in games um, of this nature, this type of
Mhm.
importance. It's really important for these guys to just take in the moment, understand what's going on, because at the end of the day, win or loss, this is going to be something that they can carry to the next year and be veterans and know what to do and not be overwhelmed. So I think it's really important for them to just make the game simple. They're young. Just keep it simple and play with a lot of fight. Use those young legs and trust in your brothers.
Yeah, I think that is where we are not using our advantage to our advantage. And that is, we do have those young legs. We do have youth, which it does, there is some inexperience there when it comes to these high stakes games. But we've gotten a lot better this year in stepping up when we needed to. I do think that sometimes when we're playing, and I've said this before, when we're playing teams that have like LeBron James and these massive superstars, some of the young guys get intimidated by that. And I think we saw that yesterday. It was a huge game. A lot was on the line, and you're looking at LeBron James, and you're like, can we actually stop this guy? And yesterday we could not, in fact, stop him at all. But that's not to say that we haven't done it before. I do want to talk to you about the points in the paint yesterday in that game and what needs to change going forward tomorrow. At halftime, I believe it was 50-12 with points in the paint. That is atrocious. You're not going to win that way. And so then it goes to the debate of why is JV only playing 7 minutes in that game yesterday? Did we need a bigger body in there on defense? What is going to be the key to that? Because Anthony Davis was a monster. I mean, we weren't stopping anybody in the paint. So what are we going to do about that tomorrow, do you think?
And look, like I said, these are professionals. I know a lot of people try to discredit Willie Green the coaching staff and the players. But at the end of the day, and this banter is happening on Twitter the entire season because the Lakers are just a huge matchup problem. But
Mhm.
more than that, like I said, they have a huge experience gap over them, over us. These thing people are forgetting. We're talking about LeBron James. We're talking about Anthony Davis. I know it's easy to hate Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis is a top big man in our league, and when he's doing his best, which for some reason is always against the Pelicans, he is
Always.
unstoppable. And I keep harping on this. It's hard for us to deal with the Lakers because we don't have anybody that's vertical enough with that size. We don't have a big man that's getting up like AD. And also, we don't have a big man that's moving his feet as well as AD is. Now, is there ways to stop it a little bit and maybe not get that many points in the paint? Yeah, I mean that comes with coaching. I think Willie Green just has to scheme a little bit better. But
Mhm.
it's regardless of whatever you do, it's going to be a tough matchup. Um,
Right.
from my perspective, I think it's very important that we eliminate that factor of the Lakers being a team. I think it's so important that we say, hey, we're going to pick on either Anthony Davis or LeBron, and they're going to have to win the game, but nobody else gets to score. But when it comes to hey, what are we going to do about the points in the paint? Stop a backdoor cut. That'll probably be really nice.
Mhm.
Stop. I mean, Herb Jones, for me, defense player of the year. But look, he got beat on some cuts to the lane.
He did.
And
Mhm.
he was overhelping a little bit, but also that's me from the outside looking in. I don't know what their game plan was on there. I don't know if the bad guy was supposed to be participating in that. So you just want more, and you want players to take a little bit of autonomy and say, hey, I see what's going on. I'm gonna have to deal with this myself, and just get a stop and keep it pushing. But it's gonna be hard
Yeah.
regardless. 'Cause the Lakers they're very
Mhm.
very skilled when it comes to playing us.
I felt like yesterday there was a lot of just standing around watching. Like they didn't notice how many like behind the back cuts or things that were like screens that were going on. There was a lot of times we were just standing around and they just got like a easy layup under the basket. So, and I don't know if that some of that goes back to that starstruck a little bit, like we're playing the Lakers and all, but um I mean we can clean up a lot of that, even with Anthony Davis being who he is. Um, and then we got to have some shots fall too. Yesterday was kind of like what happened. CJ's on these last two heaters of games hitting 9 3-pointers and 7 3-pointers. And yesterday it's like, it's just not falling. And you're going to have games like that, but you can't
Yes.
have games like, you can't do that 2 games in a row. So I'm hoping that tomorrow, and I am interested. In my opinion, if I was Willie, I would have had Bi coming off the bench yesterday. He hadn't played since March 21st, and the camaraderie of the guys had really started gelling. I mean, you saw what we were able to do on the road in those games that we needed to win, and then it just kind of like you throw Bi in, and it's like, hey, let's mix it and match it all up again. So do you think that had a part to play in what was going on with that game yesterday, or no?
Of course. Um, basketball is a game of flow and chemistry. And when
Mhm.
you disrupt flow and chemistry, especially versus a team like the Lakers, with one of the smartest, highest IQ NBA players of all time, LeBron James, it's gonna get tough. He's gonna get surgical. And I think that's what he did. I think it's very imperative that this team gets back to that um, just togetherness. And I think, yes, you're correct. That continuity being going into this game, I think Bi should have definitely took a step back and said, hey, I'm willing to go on the second unit and let that spacing work for Zion.
Right.
Because look, Zion's been on a roll, but
Mhm.
him being pushed back like that because he is overwhelmed. And also, they just have the right type of defense and mindset when it comes to Zion. Zion hits very tough shots every game, but it's like, hey, try to hit that tough shot on Anthony Davis. He's
Exactly.
not a small big man, and he can get up. He's historically known for deflecting shots and getting in the pathways of a
Yeah.
pass. So they're gonna let Zion try to do that. and they're going to say, hey, we're going to deny the perimeter. We're going to let Zion try to get past LeBron or AD or even Rui, because Rui's not a small guy either. I think people forget how many big wings they have. They have
Yeah.
bruiser wings. And we saw that with the amount of dunks that they did
Ugh.
yes. Yeah, it was really tough, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just really important that they keep that spacing and that continuity together. And we saw something. I don't know what it was, but we saw something when Trey Murphy is starting. It's something really
Mhm.
special. And
Yeah.
also Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels was playing such a big role. It seemed like his role dwindled, and I like the shots that he was taking yesterday, but they just didn't fall.
Right.
Like a lot of our players. But look, the Lakers had a good game plan. I hate to say it, but I'm going to
Mhm.
use a green term. Give them credit. Um,
No, don't give him credit. No, Miles.
you got to get. I don't know if I wouldn't say it was probably Darvin Ham's idea, but I definitely think LeBron was like, "Hey, we know exactly what to do for this guy."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, look, they impose their will on us, but it's not out of the realm of belief to say that we can do the same. So I think it's just really important that we punch first.
Well, and here's the good news and all that. Let's say worst case scenario, we do lose on Tuesday. We still have a shot at getting in. So I mean,
Yeah,
not all hope is lost. Even if we do lose tomorrow, this isn't the March Madness bracket. We're going to be okay. And then, unfortunately, we're going to play at home on Friday. I was really hoping it was going to be a road game because I was like, perfect. This is a great plan. That's why we probably designed it this way. And
yeah.
then it's like, no, we're going to be at home again. So I don't know. I mean, we got a shot. We've got 2 games. We got to win one of them, and I feel like we can do that. But
I
I feel
believe
like
it.
also the city might burn to the ground if we don't make it. So
Yeah, I'd hate to see the conversations having to be had on social media platforms if the Pelicans don't get into the playoffs with 49 wins and
mhm,
us just hearing about the Willie Green extension and
right.
yeah, it's not gonna look good. Like I forgot who said it, but somebody said on Twitter that it might be a civil war coming
Yeah,
on the Pels fan base. It
it
definitely
might
might.
be.
It
Yeah,
definitely might if they don't get this together. But I have complete faith in them.
they do.
I think we were hearing a lot of recency bias. We're hearing a lot of those because there's a lot of people that resent the things that this team does, and that resentment usually doesn't leave. Victories don't even help it.
Mhm.
But I think these guys, they're gonna rally. They you can see from them working past practice. Um, they know what's at stake, and regardless of how it happens, it's gonna happen. And I'm saying that to be so. So
Yeah, I definitely have faith in it too. I think we're going to get the win one way or another this week, the one win that we need. And then we're going to be in, and it's anybody's game at that point. Once you got the whole series and we get to play on the road, really, then it's it's up for grabs. So
and that's such a
I'm
crazy statement. You have to
I
win on the
know,
road.
right? Who would have thought? And there's got to be some psychology behind that and why the Pelicans team actually plays so phenomenally better on the road than at home. But hopefully this week it's going to come full circle. They're going to play great at home and we're going to get to experience all that fun. So, well, I think that considering what we have coming up, we're going to have a lot more to talk about later on this week. So we can wrap it up today. We usually wrap it up with just a closing thought of what we want to do. So, Myles, I'll let you go first. And thoughts, anything you want to talk about, basketball or unrelated to that.
Just a little fun fact. I've got CJ McCollum's freshman
Okay.
year practice jersey on my y'all. I didn't tell anybody this yet, but my brother played at Lehigh with them. He was the point guard, so
Oh,
I'm a little biased when I talk about CJ. Um, Fans are probably going to see that in the future, or they've seen it in the past. But yeah, that's my guy, and I'm wishing that he gets one of those runs again. I
mhm.
love to see him talk that talk and back it up on the court, and I like to see that from the rest of the Pelicans organization. And I think we'd all like to see a little bit more fight and Willie Green and each of the players and the coaching staff. And from the fan base too, don't give up on your team. Stay true to who you are and stay true to your team. Don't be so quick to give up after one tough loss. This is the NBA. Basketball is a game of runs. There's ups, there's downs. We'll get past this and we'll get a dub.
Yeah, and just I'll add to that a little bit in that we're in a really tough conference. We could easily be in the Eastern Conference. In this, we wouldn't even be discussing the play-in finally. So
Yeah.
we're in a tough spot. I'm a huge CJ fan as well. Some of the guys that have been on the pod before, they would kind of rib me about that. But I see the leadership from him. I see he's a great, phenomenal player. So I think he's what this team has needed. And we just need a couple guys just to get hot tomorrow night. And I think we're going to be fine. And then only half of Twitter will be mad tomorrow night. So it'll be great either way.
People find a way to be mad regardless. So it's important for me and you to keep the positivity up and see the light at the end of the tunnel, because there's a lot of people that see no light.
Yeah, and we're seeing all of it. So
yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for joining me, Myles. We will do this again soon. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will talk to you hopefully after the Pels are in the playoffs. See you later.